Hey, how's it going today, YouTube? This is Eric Markland again with the Markland Designs of Atlanta. And today, switching up a little bit different. So, the last couple months, I've had the opportunity to work with one of my great friends, Aaron Shilneck, in Missouri. And we had the opportunity to work on Mr. Ross's JDM 1990 Fairlady Z. So, we're going to do a little overview on that, kind of show you the ins and outs of what we did on this beautiful, beautiful vehicle and some of the challenges that we incurred, and overall just kind of give you a little insight on this little quick build that we did. So hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Diving right in, we started modeling speakers in the computer and making adapter plates for the vehicle. Since it is a 1990 car, there aren't a lot of mounting adapters and accessories for this vehicle. So we kind of had to model everything in the computer, come up with our own adapters for the doors and the rear and everything like that. Also, the owner of the vehicle wanted something very, very clean and very tasteful. He didn't want to cut up the doors or build any pods and pillars or anything like that. So we kind of had to utilize the factory locations. And using the factory locations on this particular vehicle required, custom adapters for the front and rear. So once we came up with a nice design for the front and rear doors and the trunk, we went ahead and pushed forward and got started on the actual build. So the factory JDM single DIN head unit was pulled out and replaced in favor with a Sony XAV AX5500 head unit. This head unit features a 7-inch display, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, and USB connectivity. These features all give him the modern essentials that he would need in his vehicle, also giving a clean signal for us to use for the sound system. Moving on to the door panel, just got those removed, which take a little bit more effort than your average door panel, just because the actual seatbelt is integrated into the actual door panel. So those just kind of take a little bit more time, TLC. A car of this age, you just have to be really careful. You don't want to break any clips or anything because you can't find replacements. So once we got the door panels removed, Aaron did an absolutely phenomenal job. He designed the adapters in the computer, and then once everything was cut on the laser, he took everything over to the router to do all the finishing work. And it was a really cool two-piece design that he made for the front adapters, which then bolt to the actual door, or the inner door, should I say, in a factory manner using the factory screws and hardware. So he did an absolutely awesome job on that, and it turned out great. So here you can see the hybrid audio coax speakers mounted up. And then we use Stinger wiring throughout the vehicle. All the speakers inside the doors and in the back all use Stinger wiring, and everything was labeled for easy serviceability. Here you can see the rears, which was a 4-inch Mirrors V hybrid audio. He used the adapters on that and allowed the factory panel to go back over it with no issues, no problems. Moving on to the subwoofer, we have some hybrid audio technologies, Unity 10 shallow subwoofers. They were great for this application, for the space saving, but also for their very clean look and the great amount of bass output and bass response that we got. So onto the trunk, I had to fiberglass the rear, which was kind of a task, trying to utilize as much airspace as possible for the subwoofers without raising the floor, because that was one of the kind of requests from the owner, was that he didn't want the floor to be raised any substantial amount. So I think we were able to knock that out pretty nice. A hybrid audio technologies Unity 5-channel amplifier was used to power the system. It has more than enough power to power the front speakers, rear speakers, and 2 subwoofers. Also, it actually cuts down on having to use multiple amplifiers in this application, and weight, which is a big factor in this vehicle. So the amplifier and subwoofer enclosure are one piece, which is secured to the vehicle using stainless steel hardware, which makes it super modular and easily to be removed if the client ever needed to service the vehicle, or just cut down on weight if he wants to go to the track or race the vehicle. Once that was done, I was able to load up the paint gun and spray the enclosure, but I'll let Aaron explain to you why I did that. What's up, Aaron?
What's up?
So even though this is gonna be wrapped and nobody's gonna see this, why did we decide to paint it black?
The biggest reason we paint it black, before it's done, any part that's not completely finished, it gives it a finished look. So that way down the road, if it's ever serviced by somebody else, it's not just bare wood. I mean, you're paying good money to have an enclosure built, custom fit to the vehicle. We want to have a finished product on every aspect of the build.
Yeah, so like you said, customers paying good money on this, so they don't want to lift up the beauty panel, or another shop has to service it and you just see bare wood. Paint, how much does paint cost? Next to nothing, right? Just takes time. Yep. So yeah, just doing things a little different. Nothing new, but just kind of how we're doing things. So, yep. Once the enclosure was dry, we were able to fill the enclosure with black hole stuffing, which optimizes the performance of the subwoofers in the sealed enclosure. Once that was done, we were able to load the actual enclosure back into the vehicle, bolt everything back in, and get started as far as getting power to the amplifiers to get sound. Here you can see now we added the fuse to the fuse holder underneath the hood, which was custom fabricated by an ABS mount from Ron, which he did a great job on as well. The one request from the client was that he wanted to incorporate the Nissan Fairlady Z into the actual build of this trunk. So I'm not one that's really huge on having large logos and stuff like that. So what I did was kind of do a real subtle gloss black acrylic with a matte black finish on the enclosure. I think it turned out really nice. It's tasteful. It doesn't scream out, look at me, but it does kind of give a custom look. So, that's what we did here. And then we did some embossed raising on the floor, and I think overall with the amplifier lit up, it turned out really, really clean and classy. The floor wasn't raised that much. Output on the subwoofers and overall sound was pretty fantastic, and we were definitely both surprised. So here's a couple other pictures of everything, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, like I said, it was a blast working with my good friend Ron, and hopefully we get to do a lot more builds together. Hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.